Okay. Welcome to Ashland High School, William Cunis Field, for tonight's playoff matchup, Division 6 South, your 7-1 Ashland Clockers against your 7-1 Medway Mustangs. I'm going to take a moment for the national anthem. All right, we have a few minutes. We're going to do the coin flip. Beautiful night here. It's you have Rob Silver with Todd Carter tonight. Back again.
Magic duo.
Right. Looking for a good game tonight. This is a team they faced earlier in the year, and both 7-1. Medway's only loss was the 21-20 opener here in Ashland, and it came down to a stop 2-point conversion. And since then, they've gone undefeated. And the Clockers, undefeated until they faced off against a NFL-style Holliston team that beat them pretty handily. And they bounced back with a nice win last week in the first round of the playoffs.
This is going to be a crazy rematch. If you can remember the first time these two teams played this season, it came down to a 2-point conversion stopped by the Clockers.
We ask that you now rise and remove all headwear as we honor the United States of America with the playing of our national anthem. Tonight, the anthem will be performed by Ashland freshman Justin DeLang.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
That was Ashland's Andrew Lang with a beautiful rendition of the national anthem.
Great job there by that young man.
A lot of talent here in Ashland, not just on the football field, but all throughout the community. And there's just another example. And looks like Ashland will be kicking with the wind. No rain, fortunately, tonight. They'll be kicking from our left to right.
Semifinal matchup. Medway Mustangs will start off the game by receiving. Kicking off for Ashland, number 20, Andre Agostinelli.
Medway takes the field, and we'll go over the keys to the game after this kick, and it'll be Andre Agostinelli.
Had a great week last week.
Yes. Great
5
job.
extra points made and an interception.
And the interception, and he had to, got an interception called back. It's picked up on the squib kick, and it's about 15 yards. That was Justin Pratt on the carry. You'll see that name a lot tonight. He's one of their go-to guys. They'll take over on the 33-yard line. It's going to be Drew Plunkett at the quarterback position. In the backfield, he has Alex Diamond and Dom Cavazzi. Two-back set. He pitches to Diamond. Pickup of about 4 yards. From the game film that I watched, this is a much improved Drew Plunkett. Not that he wasn't good the first time around, but the offense has really gotten on track. And their offense, the lowest point output has been 20 points, so Ashland is going to have to do some real hard work on defense. Plunkett keeps it, and they wrap him up. That's Brody Asenko again.
And I'm sure we'll be seeing him quite a bit on offense tonight as well at the running back position.
Yes, as they use the 3 different running backs, which seemed quite effective last week. Plunkett in the shotgun formation. 3 receivers to the right, 2 receivers to his left. They throw to the back, the receiver in the slot. He looks left, he keeps it, goes wide. He's tackled out of bounds at the 45, but not before he gets a first down. And you'll see a lot of that too. Plunkett is very adept at avoiding the tackle, avoiding the rush.
He's got wheels.
He does. And he's not afraid to throw the ball either. Had a lot of long touchdown passes too. So this is really going to test the defense tonight. Quick handoff to Alex Diamond.
33, Alex Diamond. Clocker tackle by number 67, Michael McSweeney.
Pickup of about 4 yards. And they're right at midfield. Great turnout tonight. Big crowd tonight. So we don't have the Red Sox game on. So Plunkett, deep set with Diamond to his left. Steps back, quick pass to the flat. And he's hauled down after a 4-yard gain. Don Massaro, Jake Latessa in on the tackle.
Now a 3rd and 1 for Medway.
Two-back set. They got Cavazzi up close, and he hands it out to the deep Alex Diamond, and it's enough for a first down. And again, Brody Asenko and Don Massaro, Ryan Dwinell's all in on the tackle.
Great extension by Diamond of Medway.
They'll run that play a lot from that two-back set, the I formation. They'll hand it up. Every once in a while, they'll give it to the up back, but for the most part, here they are, 3 receivers to the left. And throw is just a little off.
That'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Mustangs.
And this is something you'll see too. They do go with the hurry-up offense a lot. Plunkett seems to have a pretty good command of the offense and is not afraid to call the plays himself. Back in motion. Use him as a decoy and he keeps it. Gain of 1.
Some really good stops here for Ashland.
Tackled by Andrew Iannarelli.
Another 3rd down play. This is a big one. And if you're just joining us, it's first drive of the game. Medway Mustangs have the ball. 3rd and 9, almost 10, with about 6.5 minutes to play in the opening quarter. Plunkett takes the snap, drops back, and just broken up. And a nice play on defense. Jake Latessa gets a hand in there. And
Good
4th
job
down.
by Latessa. Really great coverage there.
First decision of the night, and looks like they are going to punt. But I wouldn't put a fake past them at any point in time. Nice snap. And Plunkett to punt. And back there with a fair catch was Nate Sickles, and they'll take over at the 15-yard line. So that's been the story of the Clockers all season. They've given up some yards, but they haven't given up a lot of points. They kind of always seem to buckle down. And
Yeah, it's the bend, don't break mentality.
exactly.
And especially in high school football, that can work really well because most of the time you don't have you don't have the kickers that can get it just far enough.
And I watched their kicker warm up. He kicked one from 47 yards, and it was good by at least 10 yards. Unbelievable leg. There's a handoff. And that's Eddie Lopez with the first carry of the game. Pickup of almost 5 yards.
Carry by number 26, Eddie Lopez, was met by the Mustangs' Dominic Cavazzi. 2nd down for the Clockers.
And as is normal, they have Jackson Horning. They'll use the 2 quarterbacks, Jackson Horning to start. And they have Eddie Lopez deep in the backfield again. And they hand it off to Eddie Lopez again. And a yard or 2 there.
Eddie Lopez's number called
That'll bring up 3rd and 3.
He is tackled by the Mustangs' Jack Hannigan. 3rd down now for the Clockers at their own 23.
And the offensive line for Ashland tonight, we have Jake Erdelt, Michael McSweeney, Lucas Howard, I believe it's Ryan Dwinells at the center. He drops back to pass, and it's good to Ben College.
Ben College with a great extension there.
First
after
throw of the
play.
game, good for about 11 yards.
And I just received word from upstairs that we are currently live. Some technical issues to start, but we are live. You're joining us. We're about halfway through the first quarter. The score is 0-0.
And Ashland held Medway as they kicked off. And they are with the offense right now. Jackson Horning, Eddie Lopez, Jake Latessa in motion.
And watch
Hands
out.
off to Eddie Lopez. Lightning. Oh, and a big gain there.
Lopez showing off his wheels early.
Pickup of about 17 yards right there. the sophomore, Eddie Lopez, getting him over midfield. It's deflected. Oh, and knocked down.
Incomplete pass by the Clockers, intended receiver number 13, Nathan Sickles. Second down for the Clockers at the Mustang 48.
And I wanted to get the name of the offensive line because we've neglected to mention them, and they don't get enough credit. They've done a great job over the season, opening up holes, protecting their quarterback. And Jackson Hornick keeps it. He looks to the outside, avoids
Still
several
up.
tacklers, and it takes a village to bring him down.
That was a gain of about 4. It looks like they'll give him 5 yards on that.
I'd give him 5.
Tackle made by the Mustangs, Dominic Kowalski.
And that brings up 3rd and 5.
It'll be interesting to see what the Clockers call here.
Yeah, they have Brody Osenko in the backfield. They have Sickles and Russell lined up at the top, and Latessa and College in the slot. And looks like he's going to keep it, and they read that one. That was a loss of 5. And that doesn't even give them the option to punt, to go for it. They're going to have to punt there.
So it looks like early on here, Medway sharing a similar mentality of bend, don't break.
Mm-hmm. And this is what we expected.
These are two very well-matched teams.
And even last year, it was a 16-14 victory by Medway when they hosted Ashland and crushed Ashland's playoff hopes. That was a dagger for them. So even though they won that first game, it was a non-league high snap. Nice recovery and a good kick there by College. And it takes an extra bounce into the end zone. A little bit too much. He had the wind with him. But a net of, well, not a net, but it went 47 yards, a net of 27, because it'll come out to the 20.
Good job. It looked like he tried to corner that punt, but just not enough of an angle on it.
I was just happy he caught it. And that's a long snap if the wind's really blowing. I can't tell. We're inside tonight. We're under the protection of the booth. So we're not battling the elements. And there aren't any elements, but we couldn't take the chance. So here we are. 1st and 10, Drew Plunkett and Alex Diamond in the backfield. Looks both ways. Moves up to the center. He's rearranging his offense. Quick pass, and it's through the hands of their receiver. It's number 12 for their receiver, Sam DePillo. I don't think it was going anywhere anyways. And he's right back. They're ready to run a play.
Some hurry-up offense here from Medway.
I would think that favors Medway. But I'm sure it's not a surprise to these Clockers or Coach McKay and Zakili. They hand off to Diamond. He gets a few yards, but Ryan Dwinells brings him down. Gain of 5. It's 3rd and 5. Stacked receivers wide. He keeps it, and it's looks like he made the first down. And they're
Yep,
going to move the
just
change.
one over.
Plunkett on the keeper, tackled by the Clockers' Michael McSweeney. That's a first down for the Mustangs.
It brings them up to about the 32-yard line.
And another quick snap, and we're a minute and a half to play in the first quarter. No score. Medway with the ball. Plunkett deep in the set. Drops back to pass. Finds receiver in the flat. Avoids a tackle. But they get to him after a 4-yard, 5-yard gain.
He is tackled, brought down by Dom
And that was Justin Pratt. And as we mentioned, we'll see a bunch of him tonight.
That was
One of it-
something the Clockers defended really well last week, were those outside passes in the flat.
Yeah, they did. They did a good job reading the game film. And Plunkett keeps it. And another 6-7 yard scamper. That'll move the chains again.
That's Dom Kavanaugh tackling him from behind.
first down for the Mustangs. The ball is spotted at the Mustang 43.
And they're ready to run the play again. Oh, a nice block, and he's got him.
He's got a
He
large
chased
gain.
down. That was a key block that sprung him.
Screen pass complete to the Mustangs. Jeffrey Converse. After a long game, he is
That's an almost
Brandon Grover.
40-yard gain.
And they're ready to go. He's got to call timeout. Yeah. And Coach McKay will take a timeout, kind of regroup, let them catch their breath. So a nice game plan by Medway.
Hey, Clocker.
Clockers definitely not ready for that hurry-up offense.
Go to the Ashland football program.
Is that a 20-second timeout?
So buy your tickets now.
And I think this might be a testament to Drew Plunkett.
That's,
I think he's actually going up to the line and kind of reading these plays, adjusting at the line, which you don't see very much in high school football.
now, and I believe Drew's a junior. Yeah, he's a junior, and he improves every game. Goes deep. And the pass is complete.
Touchdown by number 12, Samuel DePillo.
Plunkett to DePillo. And the Medway Mustangs strike first with 31 seconds left. And in to kick the extra point, number 76. And look at the leg on this guy. We might lose that ball. Let them go fetch it. But Jimmy Kelly, like I said, he's got quite the leg. The only good part about them scoring that quickly right there is they'll kick into the wind if there is any. But this guy's had a few touchbacks. You don't see that a lot at the high school level.
During this break in the action, a big thank you to Dr. Osage of Orthopedics New England for keeping our student athletes safe and in the game.
So 31 and a half seconds left. Medway will be kicking into a slight wind. Back deep is Jake Latessa, lined up to the top of the screen. Nate Sickles, bottom of the screen, and the up man is number 27. That is Jimmy Brown, Obi. And let's see if he tries a squib kick. I've seen that a few times by this Medway team. Jimmy Kelly Ready to kick.
Here it comes.
And it's a nice boot. Back deep. And he's down there. He slipped and fell. His knees down. 5-yard line.
And they were not ready for that boot. So now we got to remember that name for the future.
Yeah. Jimmy Kelly.
Jimmy Kelly. Medway's illustrious kicker.
I mean, if he has to kick one in the second quarter with the wind, he could conceivably kick a 50-yarder. Has to be the right situation, obviously. Towards the end of the half, they don't want to give the ball back to Ashland, but we're getting a little ahead of ourselves. So they got a long field.
Well, and that's why the call was so questionable just a few weeks ago.
Was that a timeout there?
Just a few weeks ago when Ashland and Medway faced off, it was a very head-scratching decision by the Medway coach to go for a 2-point conversion when you know you have a kicker that's going to make it 99 times out of 100.
I actually called the 2-point try. It was a non-league game. They were on the road. And I couldn't see what happened there. It looks like it was a handoff. That could be the last play of the game. Brody Yasenko. Pick up a 3. All I heard was the Midway crowd going crazy. It's a 3-yard game. And that should bring us to the end of the quarter.
About 5 seconds
4,
left.
3. And now they get a snap off. He dropped back to pass. Just outside the outstretched arms of Nate Sickles. Good coverage there by Sam DePillo. And that is the end of the quarter. Definitely a little breeze. The ball's going to sail a little bit.
That'll be good for the Clockers. It's 3rd down now. Big worry about a 3 and out here. This is good for the Clockers. They have time to regroup,
Yeah, absolutely.
reset a little bit, see if they can get a good play off.
They should be able to make some adjustments on defense. Their defense has been very effective all year. I mean, again, we throw out the Holliston game, and they gave up 7 points to Sharon, 7 points to Medfield, 7 points to Hopkinton. They shut out Norwood. They gave up 19 points to Westwood, but some of those was their second stringers. So we know this this defense can play and play very effectively. Ryan Dwinells will snap to Dom Kavanaugh. Steps back to pass, scrambles, gets to the outside, but they bring him down after about a 3-yard gain. That brings up 4th down, and they're going to have to punt from deep.
And I forgot about the field switch, so now the Clockers, I believe, are punting into the wind.
Into the wind. It's not
a huge breeze right now.
Right, very tropical, very balmy. It's actually might even relax him a little bit. That's College. End over end. And it's fielded by Plunkett, sure-handed, and he takes over at the Clocker 42. 32-yard punt there by College. So they're 43-yard line. Okay.
Hey fans, please take a moment now to keep our field and stands clean by picking up trash around you.
And the front four on defense is Ryan Dwinell's playing both ways. We have, I'll get the other names in a minute. Plunkett with Alex Diamond lined up to his left and two receivers out wide on each side. Plunkett scrambles and he throws it away. Smart play. Smart play. But I was watching the film earlier. Last time he scrambled, the defender kind of left his receiver and it had a wide open. It was just a wide open. So it was nice that the Clocker defender, I don't know who it was, made sure to stay with the deep receiver.
Well, and you could see that by all the Clocker defenders there.
Yeah, just
All the cornerbacks and safeties making sure that they weren't getting off easy. Plunkett
quick
can throw
handoff.
on.
oh. Alex Diamond, after a quick hit, forges ahead for 3 yards.
Mustang ball carrier is Alex Diamond. And on the tackle, the Clockers' Eddie Provenza.
Okay, only 2 yards.
Third down for the Mustangs at the Clocker 41.
It is Eddie Braganca on the defensive line, Andrew Iannarelli, Michael McSweeney, Ryan Dwinells. And we have Plunkett with Nick Sheehan in the backfield. They use him a lot, but they haven't used him tonight. I don't know, and he keeps it. Fakes to Sheehan, and they hold him there. It's 3rd and 5, and that was Dwinells with a big tackle.
Now looks like 4th and about
4th and 5. He could make this field goal, but it's the risk reward's not worth it.
No, they're gonna
they'll
go for it on 4th and 5. I like to see a push here by the Ashland defensive line.
And he's gonna. Oh, they
Look
get
at
some
that.
pressure. Stay with him, and he breaks it to the outside, and he's got some room. He's still going.
And a flag coming in late. I think that's going to be, is that going to be a block in the back?
There's a flag on the field.
And here's the first flag of the game.
Yeah, that could negate a big play, but it might be a spot foul. So it's holding, but it's a spot foul, so it's still a first down, unfortunately. Lucky for Medway. And he didn't have to. Beyond the line of scrimmage. So they get the first down just barely. Unbelievable, because that was 4th down and that would have ended it. And you have Drew Plunkett deep, no backs. One receiver lined up to the left, 2 to the right. He keeps it. A lot of blockers in there. To pick up about 5 yards. They're going to have to do a little better than that. So again, it's the second quarter. It's Medway 7, Clockers nothing. Clock running with 8:10 to play. Medway second down on the Clocker 28-yard line. Plunkett again lined up with a no back set. They ran it last time with the same formation. This time it looks like he's going to pass. Got some good protection, and he's got the receiver, and he's got him. That's the Justin Pratt.
And Justin Pratt just a little too big. I didn't see who was quite on the defense on that one.
I'm not going
Who
to
was
say
covering
even if
him.
I saw it at this point, but he ran a good route, and it was a great throw.
Put it up where only his receiver could get it.
They have some tall guys on their roster.
Yeah, you know what they say, right? Can't teach height.
As you tell the announcer, who's 5'5" 3/4. And with that extra point, it is now 14-0. Not the way Ashland wanted to start this game by any means. That short field really hurt them.
So with that, Medway with that 14-0 lead, Clockers searching for answers. And hopefully they can get something going on offense.
And we've seen them down before early. They were down, I think, 13-0 against Westwood and came storming back, scored 28 points, or not 28 in a row, but. And
you can see
their kicker, Jimmy Kelly, could definitely put this one in the end zone if he chooses to do so.
Well, you see the Clockers playing a little further back, sitting right around the 5-yard line.
And if it's over his head there, hopefully he knows to just let it go. Let it go, leave it. There you go. Smart play as it goes out the back of the end zone. And for those of you watching at home, you don't see that a lot in the Tri-Valley League, high school in general. I don't know if that was, I think he was expecting him. He was hoping to maybe have him field it like he did last time. Because otherwise, I think he could take a little bit off it and maybe, force him to play it. Sometimes you don't know your own strength. You know what that's like.
Yeah, well, you see, that's what they like to do in the NFL now. They try and kick it down to about the 1 or 2 yard line, get them to really bring it out.
Yeah, it's somebody who's aggressive might try and
they can try and stop them.
That's why I like the rule change in the college where you could take a fair catch anywhere and still take it at the 25. You can fair catch it on the 5 instead of having to, so they get rid of that play. So it's a handoff, wide. It looked like it was Eddie Lopez for no gain and a loss of 2 actually there.
So Clockers offense started out really well, unable to put points up on the board, but now last drive they looked a little stale. I'd like to see what play calling goes on, how the Clockers respond.
Little play action, maybe roll out a little bit. Jackson had a nice game last week and really accurate. Made some nice passes. They can get the passing game going. Hopefully open it up a little bit. Throws back and nice catch. That was to Kevin Russell, one of his favorite receivers. And that'll move the chains.
Well, Kevin Russell is the Clockers' big receiver, so definitely
pick up
liking
about
that.
15 yards, yeah.
Yeah, and they're remaining with that one-on-one matchup.
Yeah, we mentioned that last week, and when he sees it, that was just a timing pattern. Russell knew it was just a little hook play, and now he's going for it all. That's underthrown.
And I'm
not
surprised.
underthrown. It was a good thing it wasn't underthrown because he did not have a step on that defender.
I'll bring up a second down for the Clockers. Ball spotted at the Clocker 36-yard line.
So for those of you getting home late from work and just tuning in, it is Ashland Clockers trailing 14-0 with the ball 2nd and 10 on their 35-yard line. That's Latessa going around the back. He fakes and hands it off to Brady Asenko, who goes nowhere.
Clockers Brody Asenko on the carry for a short gain. Bring up 3rd down now. Ball at the 36.
We'll give him 1 yard there, and it is now 3rd and 9.5. He rolls out to the right. Jackson finds a receiver. Oh, and it's deflected and almost intercepted. Yeah.
Yeah, almost intercepted off the deflection. And Clockers bringing on the punt crew.
That's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that that play has been one of their go-to plays this year. So they'll be punting. Again, Ben College with Drew Plunkett back for Medway, along with Nick Sheehan. Good snap. And a nice punt there by College, spinning. And I don't know if the fair catch, and
His own guy ran into him.
that's exactly what it was. I was just waiting to see if they threw a flag, but no.
His own man
flag.
ran into him. Ends up touching one of them. I didn't know which one.
Yeah, it
and
was-
Clockers recover.
Yeah, it was Plunkett back to receive it, and his own.
And I
His own
couldn't
defender.
see who it was. It might have been 23 of the Clockers, which I believe is Senko.
I was just focusing on any flag. 23 is Asenko, if that's who it was. And
I
that's
thought
gonna
it
give him a
was,
little
but we'll see.
Shot of adrenaline. We'll see it on the replay. And if he was blocked into him, which I thought he might have been, I think that's. And now we got a timeout.
I'm wondering if the coach is calling a timeout, maybe thinking
to settle
about
them down.
throwing a challenge flag.
Yes, and with the technology that the WACA crew has, we can make sure they don't get a replay.
We'll get to you in a few days.
Yeah.
Most of these are produced by Monday morning or Monday or Tuesday.
I've been
So-
watching these so I can critique myself, and so far I've been perfect. But, and that's, I'm being sarcastic, but the quality, honestly, the quality of the video is incredible.
Well, one of the things you can thank, I usually am the director for this game, and I've been watching a lot of NFL film.
As they hand off. Oh, he fakes the handoff. He has him deep.
And that'll bring him down to just about the 2-yard line.
Jake Latessa on the fake handoff.
The Clockers quickly to the line here,
They're going to
trying to get a play off quick.
A page out of the Medway playbook. 1st and goal on the 5-yard line. And that's Brody. Well, no, that is trading one. Eddie Braganca for maybe a yard or two.
Clockers Eddie Braganco on the carry. He is brought down by the Mustangs Liam Point.
It brings up 2nd and goal.
2nd and goal for the Clockers.
Second and goal from the 5-yard line. And it's Jackson Hornig to take the snap. Brody Asenko to his right. And he rolls out. And he, almost had, looks like maybe Kevin Russell in the back. No, Ben College.
Clockers Jackson Hornig scrambling right, incomplete pass, the intended receiver.
Almost had him.
That'll bring up 3rd and goal now for the Clockers.
It was a decent decision. It was kind of either College caught it or nobody. So
Yeah.
that was one of the things I was saying. One of the keys of the game. Sometimes that turnover-wise, they're solid holding on to the ball. We've talked about that, running the ball. I don't know if they've had a turnover this year, but throwing the ball, they have a couple interceptions. Every once in a while, they try and force it instead of throwing it away. And
well, and that's especially dangerous in the end zone. The end zone is the hardest place for a quarterback to throw it.
Yeah,
that's where you really want to use your run game when you can.
The short field, and it fakes, and he hands to Eddie Lopez, and he's got the corner. Did he get, oh, and he's just at the half-yard line. I don't know, 1 yard line. Yeah, down to the 1 yard line. Almost had the corner.
And now it's time to see. I don't know it looks like the Clockers are going to go for it.
They have to go for it. Down 14-0, 1 yard line. 4:14 to play. Trailing 14-0. I wouldn't mind seeing that replay either, because it looked like when he got tackled, it was one of those, he fell on the defender and then rolled forward, so never really was down because he rolled over the defender. But with my binoculars, it looks like they're on the 2 yard line.
Who's the back in there?
That's Eddie Braganca. He fakes it. Oh, and he's wide open. Oh, and he dropped it. A beautiful play call. And College couldn't haul it in.
Just a tad behind him.
Yeah, it's one of those where the pass is so wide open. Sometimes it's more difficult than
if you
have a little coverage, right? Your eyes bug out, and it's, ooh. But so Medway will take over deep in their territory, the 2 yard line. A disappointed Ashland Clocker crowd, but they've shown they can move the ball.
Only about 3.5 minutes left in the quarter, or in the half, I should say.
Yeah, it'd be nice if they can get a 3 and out here and maybe take over with a short field.
For a fantastic season after their loss last night to the defending state champion Westboro.
And a nice turnout by the Medway crowd as well as we pan over. I think that's about as many fans as I've ever seen on the visitor side. All right, Plunkett in his own end zone to take the snap, and he has Alex Diamond to his left. And he hands off to Diamond, and he's got no gain. Nice stop there.
They're going to give him maybe half a yard.
Yeah.
That'll bring up second down. Correction on the
2nd and 9, and
Alex Diamond.
nice to see that Ashland front defensive line really coming together here.
Yeah, that's one down, 2 to go really, and hopefully we shut them down here. Player in motion. And they got Diamond lined up again to the left. Plunkett to take the snap deep. He looks to pass. Looks complete, but they were right on top of him. That was Sam DePillo.
Looks like it'll be a gain of about 4 or so. Yeah, it's going to be 3rd and 5.
And unfortunately, he was right near the sideline, but they tackled him inbounds. Not that they really have much of a choice. But clock's still running with about 2.5 to go. And they're spread out with their receivers. They got Alex Diamond in the backfield. And Plunkett kept it.
Actually got quite a few yards on
and he's
it.
just short of the first down. tough to see from this angle, but
Yard and a half maybe. And it looks like they're going to bring on the punt crew,
it's
but
too
not before a timeout. Or
probably an
2 minutes.
Ashland timeout to conserve the clock with a minute 55 seconds left to go. Let's just hope they can field this punt, because this is, again, I think it's the same kicker. Their punter is it Kelly? I think, who does the punting, and he's got a big leg. So
That's certainly something to watch tonight, especially
they're
with
on-
the slight breeze at their back.
yeah, if they're going to kick from the 11, figure he can kick it 40, 45 yards in the air. So hopefully we'll be fielding it around our Ashland 40 to 45. Yet he's only lined up on the Medway 45. That could be. Can I tell him to back up?
Our signals aren't working.
No, it's like the. Is that allowed? Is this going to be like a U.S. Open issue? I wasn't coaching him. Oh, that's Plunkett who's punting. Oh, and it's not a good punt. It might have even been blocked, as they had some real pressure in on there. And the Ashland Clockers are going to take over at the 25-yard line after a 15-yard net punt. And again, I believe one of the Clockers got a piece of it. I wish I could give him the credit, but I don't know who it was. Whether he got a piece of it or not, he definitely put the pressure on.
Sometimes that's all you need, and with a minute and 50 seconds remaining in the half, the Clockers in good field position.
This would be a.
They need to score here, and then they get the ball at the beginning of the next half. So a chance here for the Clockers to do some damage.
Yeah, that was a huge defensive stand right there. And we have Kavanaugh taking over as they switch quarterbacks every set of downs, every possession. Kavanaugh looks to throw, and it's deflected up in the air, and it's picked off. Picked off by number 11, Walton Nowicki.
Looked like it was off the hands of Sickles.
And the pass is right there. And that was Kavanaugh's first pass of the game, I believe, and unfortunately, after the deflection, it was picked off. So we'll see if Medway gets aggressive down here, or if they're just content to play conservative and run some time and kick it away.
And one thing to note here is, so far this season, Ashland has not lost at home. So this is something they're not really used to.
Yeah. And we got a flag on the play, which is usually a hold.
Mustang carry by number 33, Alex Diamond.
Okay, and it is a holding call on the Medway Mustangs.
It's going to push them back. I think they only do half the distance to the goal at this point.
Yeah, from the 15 to the 7.5.
Because usually it's 10 yards, I believe, correct?
That is correct. So for those of you youngsters at home that need a little math practice, 15 divided by 2, and it is the 7.5-yard line. As we like to say, we try and be educational as well as entertaining. We may not be either, but they run the pitch to number 23. I think that was Nick Sheehan this time. No, it was number 33, Alex Diamond. He's tackled by Iannarelli.
Mustang carry by number 33, Alex Diamond.
And Jake Latessa on the tackle as well.
Andrew Iannarelli.
And that's a timeout by the Clockers, I believe, with a minute 14 to go. There's a look to try and get one more possession
1:14 to go
as
in
they
the first half. Mustangs 14. Clockers
Have Medway in a 2nd and 13. So they have a few things to at least build on at this point. You know, they're playing a little tougher on defense.
Yep.
They've moved the ball and could have had that one score.
Yeah, the defense is beginning to figure out the mystery that is Plunkett.
Yes, and no relation to Jim Plunkett from what I understand.
Well, it wouldn't be too surprising.
Yeah, no.
You gotta ask these questions.
Right, and if your name is Plunkett, I think you have to play quarterback. I think that's a rule. Always enjoyed. It was one of the first books I ever read in school, and they throw deep, and that's going to stop the clock.
That's
Throw
good
up.
for Ashland,
Absolutely, they throw up the sideline to Jeffrey Converse.
especially with about a minute 10 seconds
Yeah,
remaining.
that only took 4 seconds off, and I don't know. I think Ashland may have one timeout left. I couldn't tell who was calling what, but
I believe they do.
Thanks for being a good sport.
And that run stopped. It'll be
And-
interesting to see.
And they do have a timeout.
33, Alex Diamond. He is met
Yeah, a minute 4 seconds now.
Andrew Iannarelli.
And I'm interested to see the upcoming punt and what the Clockers will do.
All right. Do you pressure them and try and get the block, or do you play for the? You got to bring the pressure,
I think you bring the pressure. You don't worry too much about the return.
because if you don't catch it, maybe they get 10 yards on the bounce, and you know the way things are going, maybe it'll bounce backwards.
Yeah.
But you don't risk a fumble, which is always or a muff, as I should say, when they mishandle a punt. It's a muff, it's not a fumble, and it is not advanceable by the defense if they were to recover it. But anyways, a minute 4 seconds to play, and it's 4th down. We will punt, and we'll see if the Clockers can get on the board before the half. They've been knocking, but they have not come in. And it's Plunkett back to take the punt.
And it looks like Ashland will bring the pressure. Everybody up front from the outside.
And
Quarter
it
punt.
sideways. Okay. Smart play by Sickles.
Fields it at the 48,
Fielded by the Clockers.
the Medfield 48.
So now they got to get big chunks.
First down for the Clockers at the
So at least the
Mustang
first
48.
down will stop the clock temporarily.
Well, they need good chunks, and they need it on the sideline where they can get their receivers out of bounds
Even
if they go there.
right,
If they go with the passing game.
if they may give them the middle. If they give them the middle, you take the yards, you get the first down, the clock stops, and you hurry up to the line, and you either spike it or you run another play. But
I
first things
think-
first, we have Jackson Horning back to take the snap, and he has Brody Asenko to his left, and they look to the right, and that is through the hands of Jake Latessa.
And
Nice
these
throw.
receivers seem to be having a bit of a tough night.
Yeah,
Some catchable passes that have been bouncing off.
that was my concern if we had, the rain, but it's not raining. It is maybe a little humid. I don't know if the ball is slick or not. But still, we need them to catch the ball when it's there. They can't throw it and catch it. So again, it's Jackson Horning with Brody Asenko in the backfield. And he looks, throws it downfield to Jake Latessa. And some good defense there, just broken up.
By number 11,
Who's everywhere.
Walter Nowicki.
Yeah, and he picked one off earlier. I don't know if that's the person you want to pick on. Well, actually, the pick was just a deflection. It wasn't,
Yeah, it was just tipped in the air.
and he was in the right place at the right time. So it is now 3rd down and 10.
That's something to look for. Walter Nowicki, whoever he's on, you gotta.
He's 5'11". He's against Kevin Russell right now, 6'2" down below, and Jackson steps back. He looks to pass. He rolls out. He's got some room, and he scrambles.
First
and he
down
gets out
and
of
then
bounds.
some.
A heads-up play. Pick up
38
about
seconds on the clock,
17
too.
yards by Jackson there on the ground. First down and out of bounds to stop the clock.
And again, 38 seconds on the clock. Really good heads-up play. Gets it out of bounds. Stops the clock.
Down to the 32. Maybe 15 yards on that last run.
And Sickles was in on the huddle with the coaches.
Got some protection. He lets it go, and it almost gets picked off again on a deflection.
Clocker pass incomplete. The intended receiver, number 13, Nathan Sickles.
I'd like to see them get Eddie Lopez into the receiving action. I don't think there's anybody on the field that is faster than Eddie Lopez, and if he just were to
Play a little bit of a James White role.
just blow by these guys, give him a chance.
If you get him outside,
Maybe we'll
again,
see
that kind of James White action.
Yeah, that-
you
the
get
wheel
the
route.
receivers to take him downfield. You get that wheel route with Eddie Lopez. I think he's gone.
And there's the up ball, and it's way too deep. Intended for Russell. And their defenders are some tall guys.
And there's a
and
man
we
down
have
for the Clockers. Looks like a
that might be Kavanaugh. Looks like he's getting up. It's number 77, Lucas Howard. He looks to be coming off the field pretty much under his own power, and I'm guessing we'll see him again in the second half. Like I said, that we don't mention their names enough, that offensive line, but they've done a really good job all year, and Lucas Howard has been one of the integral pieces of that line. So we are 3rd down, 10 yards to go, 28.6 seconds. Clockers on the Medway 33-yard line, trailing 14-0 in the second quarter. See if we can get some Blue Tide Pride magic going here. Jackson back. He scrambles away from the defender, looks to throw, and he stays behind the line of scrimmage. He lets it go to Russell, and he's wrapped up, unfortunately, inbounds, short of the first down. They can't spike it because it's 4th down.
They head to the line. 10 seconds
4th
down
down.
the clock.
Please don't spike it. You got to run a play. Just got to run a play.
And
flag on the play probably wasn't set.
nope, he wasn't. Russell was not set. Throw.
And the pass is incomplete, and that's the end of the half, but we'll see what the flag is. He could have, it's possible he was offside. No, I guess not.
No, Russell was not set along our near side. And with that,
Penalty declined, yeah.
with that, it's Ashland 0, Medway 14 as we go to the half.
Yeah, it was a disappointing start. Unfortunately, they didn't get in the end zone there. We got the cheerleaders doing their halftime routine. I was fortunate enough to go see my daughter compete in the Tri-Valley competition this past Sunday. where they didn't take home a trophy, but they did earn a high enough score to move on to the regionals. So that was exciting. They had a little mix-up on one of their lifts. It was very disappointing. It's kind of like the Olympics, you know, they get there, you practice all year, you're perfect, and that one time, but at least their routine was tight enough in all the other areas that they moved on to the regionals. And they did point out the Tri-Valley All-Stars, 2 from each team. And on our team, it was Marissa Tang and Hallie Silver. And yes, if you're wondering, she is related to me. That is my daughter. She was one of the Tri-Valley All-Stars for Ashland. But they're all unbelievable. They work so hard.
They're a fantastic group.
Yeah.
And the Medway cheerleaders are here, too, to do a routine.
Medway was there Sunday. I believe they took home a trophy. I think they have a lot of tumblers. They are. I'd like to hear a little more applause from our fans as we wait for the music. Cue the music. We have
They're standing at perfect attention, though.
smiles, people, smiles. And just before the half, I was greeted by Griffin Fink's mother, who came in to say hello. And you remember the spelling bee from last week. Do you remember how to spell Griffin?
I now remember how to spell Griffin, just like Gryffindor, which I was wrong about as well. Gryffin.
Yes, that is correct.
Your Ashland High School cheerleaders.
Hey, you learn something every week.
Now entering the field, the Medway High School cheerleaders. Medway cheerleaders just crossing the field.
I was wondering,
And
so,
the Medway cheerleaders just crossing.
you know, maybe they have a night off. I don't know, but usually the visiting cheerleaders
It's in
go
their
first
union
anyways.
contract, I think, right?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
So with that, we'll end the half, and we'll see you in just a few minutes for the beginning of the second.
All right, let's do it.
That's an issue.
Yeah.
Until I go tell Todd that. I can hear him. Oh, okay,
That's the Clockers' John Cavanaugh with a carry and a first down for the Clockers. He is brought down by the Mustangs' Dominic Paulette. Ball spotted at the Clocker 42-yard line. We have a timeout on the field. Okay. Fans, be sure to stop by the concession stand to pick up your hot dogs, pizza, and snacks. And while there, stop by the Clocker Club store to check out their fine collection of Ashland Clocker clothing and accessories. Clockers' Don Cavanaugh on the keeper. He is met by a slew of Mustangs, led by number 55, Brendan Kenny. Second down for the Clockers at their own 43-yard line.
screw yourself.
Mackie, you're not being a very good influence.
Pass is complete to the Clockers number 13, Nathan Sickles, for a minimal gain. He is brought down by the Mustangs' Dominic Cavazzi. Third down for the Clockers at their own 43-yard line.
You want to follow the ball.
I can't see the ball.
Yes, you can.
You gotta look quick. Lean in, lean all the way up. I see it. It's right there.
Yeah, but when they snap it, you can follow the person holding the ball, and then where they throw it, wherever they go.
Pass from Don Cavanaugh is incomplete. The intended receiver, number 13, Nathan Sickles. That'll bring up fourth down for the Clockers.
I'm going to get out front.
Clockers Ben College with the punt. Ball is fielded and fair catch made by number 21 of the Mustangs, Dominic Cavazzi. Mustangs take over, 1st and 10. The ball is spotted at the Mustang 26-yard line. Mustang pass is complete to number 11, Walter Nowicki. Tackle led by the Clockers number 8, Brandon Grover. Mustang run by number 23, Nicholas Sheehan, brought down by number 69, Ryan Wells. Walker interception by number 4, Jack Merrill. First down, Clockers. Ball is spotted at the Mustang 42-yard line. Clockers number 26, Eddie Lopez up the middle for a gain. Brought down by number 9 of the Mustangs, Liam Hoy.
Next quarter is going to be like super long.
Alexa, do you want to switch out like halfway to the next halfway to the next quarter? The next quarter.
That was 69, Andrew Bell.
3rd and 5 for the Clockers here.
And he kind of rung Eddie Lopez's bell right there. That was a
Third
hard
and-
tackle.
3rd and maybe 4. I think they're going to give him an extra yard on that one. But yeah, that was a hard hit on Eddie
It
Lopez.
looked like he had a hole there, and they closed it up. Good pursuit there. So it is 2 down territory. 3rd and 4. Brandon Grover in motion. He rolls out and he throws it away.
Good job by Horning not taking the loss there. 4th down and still 4 yards to go. If he had gotten sacked there, it would have been about a 4th and maybe 9 or 10.
Yeah, it was a smart play. Not the result we wanted, but the best he could do in that situation. You're absolutely right.
Well,
Keeps them in a...
being a righty, a little hard to roll out to your left and throw. So good job just throwing that away, not trying to force it.
Yeah, and we still have a makeable 4th down here.
Clockers
This-
definitely going for it.
And Jack Merrill into the offense. They may have to call a timeout. This play seems to be taking a long time, but we'll see. Got Eddie Lopez lined up to the left. Jackson Horner takes the deep snap, steps back to pass, and a quick pass, and it's complete for a 1st down. And that's Nate Sickles on a 4th and 5, 4th and 4. He gained 7 yards. So the Clockers have some life here. 1st and 10 on about the 40-yard line. And again, we have Eddie Lopez lined up, and he fakes to Lopez, throws deep to Latessa, and it's just tipped away by Walter Nowicki, who's been around the ball all night on defense. Just was able to interrupt the flight of the ball just enough that Latessa couldn't haul it in. So we now have 2nd and 10. Second and 10, Ashland Clockers trail 14-0 with 5:14 to go in the 3rd quarter. Trying to make something happen after the nice interception by Jack Merrill. They have Latessa in motion. Horning looks to keep it, and he's wrapped up right away. They didn't fool anybody. That's number 61, Trent Flood, with the big tackle. And a loss of about a yard there.
At the Mustang 31-yard line.
And it's 3rd and 11. And again, it's 2 down territory. So they don't have to get it all here. They can pick up a chunk and give them some options for the potential 4th down if they don't make it here.
Yeah, at least get some good yardage. Move a little bit closer to that 1st.
He's got some time. He's open over the middle. And a
Well,
nice
that's a
throw
first
by
down.
Jackson Horning to Ben College. Hauls it in. And it brings up a 1st and goal, a 20-yard strike on a beautiful throw.
Well,
Horning
now it's nice to
College.
see these receivers starting to use their bodies a little bit more, edge out the cornerbacks, edge out the safeties.
Yeah, he
Use
ran
the-
a nice route and he kept the position. You're
Yeah, we have
absolutely
some
right.
good size at receiver for the Clockers.
And Horning's
They're starting
been
to
on
use
target.
that. Yeah, Horning has been
nice.
fantastic today.
Nice to see them haul it in when it's there. And he hands off to Eddie Lopez, who tries to get the corner. Picks up about 2.
That's the Clockers. Eddie Lopez going around the right side for a short gain. He's brought down by the Mustangs.
Actually,
Kamatsi.
And
might not be 1st and goal. Was it?
Second down for the Clockers.
It was
Yeah,
just short.
Yeah, it was 1st and 10 on the 11, so you got
So
about
if they can
3.
get it down to about the 1,
I would rather
can
they
start-
not get it down to the 1.
Yeah.
You're going to take it to the 1. Why not bring it all the way in?
yeah, that's the goal. But
I know.
I mean, better to have a 1st and goal at the 1 than
With 4 shots
4th
at
and
it. So we have Horning and the handoff, and nice yardage there.
that was a good run up the middle.
That was Eddie Braganca with his second carry of the day, I believe.
Conca brings it out about 5 yards.
Eddie the Bull. Can we use that?
3rd and 4,
Eddie the Bull.
5 yards away from the end zone.
And they've been down here before. This end of the field has not been kind to them, and let's see if they can break the schneid and get on the board. He looks, he's got Russell, and he throws it a little bit behind him.
Looked like that ball may have been tipped a little bit at the line.
Receiver number 6, Kevin Russell. That'll bring up a 4th down for the Clockers.
As we go to the instant replay. And you may be right. I believe it was there was a little deflection. That would explain being thrown behind him, because he's been pretty accurate tonight, and that wasn't a difficult throw. Great call there, Todd. Todd Carter, Rob Silver, your team tonight. 4th down, big 4th down. 4th and 4 for the first, 5 for the touchdown. Scrambles, and it's deflected and a touchdown.
Deflected and
to
caught
Sickles.
by a Clocker. Yeah, that's Sickles. Sickles with the first Clocker touchdown of the night,
And listen to
cutting
that
the deficit. And now we have
And it was deflected by number 21, Dominic Cavazzi, but Sickles with the concentration to haul it in.
Agostinelli here for the extra point. Mr. Automatic right
And
through
it's
the
good.
uprights. And now the
hard-
Clocker deficit is cut in half. And we're up to about 41 viewers. Thank you for joining us here tonight. Again, as you said, Rob Silver, Todd Carter, score of 7-14. Clockers down by 7 right now. And your crew tonight consists of Mackie Kotob, Jordan Kotob, Cameron Tabo, and Jack Emberley.
They're doing a terrific job with the camera crew. And what a turn of events. A couple 4th down conversions, one for a 1st down, another one for a touchdown. And that's what the Clockers needed. And they'll kick off from the 40-yard line, and it's Andre Agostinelli. Dre, as they say, goes by. He does a squib kick, and it's the up back, and he takes a knee right away. Nice
Right at
hands
the
there.
40-yard line.
That was Timothy Cusack with some good hands there. He must have had instructions, if you ever touch the ball, take a knee, because he did have some room to run it, but smart, great play. And it's up to the defense again.
Well, and now there's some short field for Medway. So it'll be interesting to see if the Clockers can really stop them out here. A lot of the past few drives that the Clockers have stopped have been way out near the Medway end zone.
Hand off to Diamond, and he forges ahead for almost 5, is it?
Mustangs Alex Diamond on the carry, brought down by the Clockers number 7, John Kavanaugh.
4 yards, 5 yards.
The Mustangs at their own 43-yard line.
And Medway, second and 6 from their 44-yard line. Again, it's Plunkett back to take the snap with Diamond lined up to his right. He drops back. They got some pressure, and they wrapped him up. There's Brody Asenko in on the tackle, Eddie Braganca on the tackle, and Ryan Dwinells, who's still down. And
Dwinells, that's a tough one for the Clockers.
I'm thinking, as I say this often, it's a cramp. He had some issues with cramping early on in the season. Yeah, she's stretching out his leg.
And it looks like Dwinells will come out
Under his own power.
Yeah.
So he'll have to come out for gives the thumbs up, the give me some water signal. And he'll be out for one play. After a huge, he was in on that tackle with the other two, and big loss there, 7 yards, and it brings up 3rd and 11. And they gotta stay home on this and not lose their focus. It's Plunkett with nobody else in the backfield. And some pressure, he avoids the pressure.
Oh,
and they get out wide.
He's gonna get out.
There's a flag on the play.
It'll be interesting to see what that flag is for.
I'm hoping it's a hold.
If it's a hold, where does the ball end up?
It is.
It would be 10 yards away from the point. And I think they're saying that the point was the Ashland 49, which would drive
He's saying
him
he's
back.
declining. You can't decline it because it's a first down if you don't decline it.
They gotta say it was
Yeah,
right
so, yeah,
at
he's
the.
accepting it. He was he would have made the first down, so they bring it back 10 yards. So they'll repeat 3rd down, but it's now 3rd and 4. A net of about 7 yards on the play, or 8 yards after the 10 yards is enforced. So a nice fake and keep by Plunkett to keep them alive. And it's 3rd and 4 as the wind comes into the booth here. Ashland crowd all fired up. Drew Plunkett looks over to the sideline. He has Alex Diamond in the deep set.
And a timeout called.
Timeout.
I think that's. Never mind. End of the quarter. 3rd quarter coming to an end with Ashland down 7-14.
Plays progress downfield. Beyond the line of scrimmage. Okay. I don't know if you're going to listen to me, so. Write your own book. It stopped. So his line is done. It's beyond the line of scrimmage, the infraction. It's a spot. I'm with you, Bill.
And again, thank you to our crew tonight, consisting of Mackie and Jordan Kotob, Cameron Tabo, and Jack Emberley.
And here we are, 3rd and 4, start of the 4th quarter, Medway. On their own 46, Plunkett keeps it again, and a nice tackle there. And that's Brody Asenko. Reading that one. Stops it for a gain of 1, and it's 4th and 3.
Ashland.
And they're bringing on their punting unit. And
They
I'm
will
sure
bring on the punting unit. Ashland trying to get the right unit in there just in case it goes either way. And interestingly, Ashland has 2 men back.
Yeah, timeout by Medway. And we're very close to the fans. One of the fans was arguing about the enforcement of that holding penalty, saying that it was incorrect. But when we watch it
You
on
never win
replay-
by arguing with the refs.
Well, he wasn't arguing with the ref inside, not on the field. But again, if the infraction occurs beyond the line of scrimmage, then it's 10 yards from the infraction, or what they call a spot foul. As we saw in the first quarter, when it was 11 yards beyond the line of scrimmage, they pushed him back 10, but it was still enough on that 4th down. So here we are, 4th and 3. And one of the keys to the game that I said is penalties. There haven't been a lot of penalties on the Clocker side. Let's just hope they stay home and don't do anything crazy. You don't want to press this one here because you could get an offsides, and that would be a 1st down. And they're going to run it. They're going for it. And now Ashland's going to have to take a timeout.
So we're only a few seconds into the 4th quarter, and already I think we've had like 3 timeouts.
And I'm wondering if the Medway coach is really going to go for it, or if he maybe just wanted to
See if we could draw Ashland offsides, maybe?
Yeah, just kind of catch him. Either way, Plunkett is their punter, so he makes them burn a timeout, or he could just do a quick kick and run it from that deep set. So
Do that quick
yeah, I mean, you got a lot of options
shotgun
with,
punt.
yeah, they got a lot of options with Plunkett, but it looks like they're definitely going for it. They got 3 receivers lined up to the right, 2 to the left. Plunkett throws back. That's actually a lateral.
Rips
And that's
right,
a nice
and tackled short.
tackle.
Ashland will get the ball right around
Might
the
have been
49-yard
Sickles
line.
on the tackle. If I sounded a little dejected, it's not because I didn't think he was going to tackle, but I was looking at the 4th down marker thinking it was the 1st down marker, not the, thought it was the 1st down marker, not the down marker. So, a huge stop by Nate Sickles. And they're going to take over on their 48-yard line, the 48-yard line of Midway, with 10:15 to go, trailing 14-7. And we got a ball game. We've always had a ball game. Never give up on these Ashland Clockers.
They are never out.
Kavanaugh fakes the handoff. He looks deep. It's a beautiful catch by Nate Sickles.
Nate Sickles using his height to his advantage. Perfect tiptoe catch along the sideline.
28 yards. And he makes the great stop on 4th down, and now he makes the great catch on 1st down on offense. Caught the touchdown pass earlier.
Nate Sickles seemed to maybe struggle a little bit in that first half, but just beautiful performance.
Yeah.
Second half comes around.
And here we go. We got Kavanaugh running the offense. College lined up to the right. Got Eddie Berganca in the backfield. He fakes the handoff. And the pass was intended for Sickles.
But it almost went right into the hands of a Midway defender.
But it was, yeah.
Luckily, he wasn't ready for it.
Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Yeah, just a high throw, I think, or just a little off. But that's all right. So it's clock's not running. How much time left, Todd?
9.5 minutes.
Okay, 2nd and 10 on the 20-yard line. Ashland Clockers trailing 14-7. Dom Kavanaugh directing Eddie Braganca deep. You got Brody Asenko lined up in the short back position. Kavanaugh keeps it, stumbles, and gets thrown ahead for about 3 yards.
Don Kavanaugh brought down on the keeper. Tackle made by number 69, Andrew Bell. That'll bring up
Looks like they're only going to give him about 2.
18-yard line.
Okay.
And they were not gentle with Kavanaugh there.
Can't be. And it's Brody Asenko lined up to Kavanaugh's right. He rolls out. And he makes a nice catch. Excuse me, a nice pass. And Latessa with a nice catch as it was thrown a little behind him. That's enough for a first down. That was about 10 yards.
And that's a 1st and goal for Ashland right around the 8, maybe 9-yard line. Gonna call it on the 9. And it's let's go Ashland chants from the sideline, and a flag comes out. An offside penalty.
False start.
Or sorry, a false start penalty, yeah.
Huh.
On the Clockers, it's going to be 1st and goal, but from the 14 now.
I don't know if they had a couple men in motion. I did not see. So it's,
It looked like they were just starting to line up.
So that'll bring up 2nd and 15 as the viewership surges to 50. Now 14-7. Handoff to Brody Asenko. He fights to get back to about 4 yards. Down to the 11-yard line.
Brody Asenko brought down by the Mustangs' Connor Smith. 2nd and goal.
And I understand Coach McKay wanting to make sure he makes the right play call. But we still have to be conscious of the clock. Maybe not yet, but we have 7:20 to go. For those of you just joining us, your Ashland Clockers 1st and goal after a penalty on the 11-yard line. Excuse me, 2nd and goal, trailing 14-7. Jackson Horning, and he's going to throw. Throws underneath. It's incomplete to Ben College.
Yeah. Ball just hit the ground. College was very close, but just grazed the ground as it's now 3rd.
Now, this is interesting because if they don't score here, they are in field goal range.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting to see if they bring on Mr. Automatic.
And it really depends on what they do here as far as yardage. If they gain, 7-8 yards, then they have to go for it. If it's an incomplete pass, then they might have to look. And he's going to throw. He's got Sickles deep, back of the end zone, and he's got it. A perfect throw to Nate Sickles again.
An absolute floater, just landed perfectly. You can't ask for anything better. Hit Sickles right in the chest. Great throw by Kavanaugh. And the Clockers with a key extra point here, and I like the decision by Coach McKay to kick the extra point.
Oh, absolutely. At this point in the game.
This is the mistake that hurt Medway before.
And it's blocked. It's blocked, and it's a live ball. Still a live ball.
Clockers
And
recover it, but it's no good. Ashland 13. And Mr. Automatic.
And it's not. That was the left
kick.
side of the line. Just let them right in. They let them right in.
That is a key block there for Medway. There's still plenty of time left on the clock, but now the Clockers need a drive as Jackson Horning gets ready on the sideline.
I'm not sure. That might have even been Jackson who threw the touchdown pass. I'm not sure.
No, I'm pretty sure it was College. Or sorry,
Kavanaugh?
Wow, Kavanaugh.
Because Kavanaugh had come in, excuse me, Horning had come in on the previous play.
Well, Horning has been fantastic passing tonight.
Yeah, Horning had thrown that one to College, the one that was underthrown, and then on fourth down. But regardless, it's 14-13. Medway leads. They're back to receive. And it looks like they have a special play call, maybe an onside. It is an onside kick, and it's recovered.
It's recovered by the Clockers.
It's recovered. Was that?
And a little trick
there's
play.
A flag. There's a flag. Flag on the play. I don't know what the flag is because it wasn't.
Everybody was behind.
It was 15 yards.
Everybody
downfield.
was behind the kicker. Are they going to say it went out of bounds?
That could be another. That could be an unsportsmanlike. I'm not sure what this is. I don't know if the
Sickles
it might have been
frustrated on the
Jalen
sideline.
Simpson who picked it up, or Eddie Lopez, but he certainly didn't touch it before the 10 yards.
It got past the 10 yards. The question is, was his foot out of bounds as he picked the ball up? And I think that's what they're going to say. So technically, by ruling, I believe that means the ball would be out of bounds.
This is 15 yards. That's an
15 yards from the spot.
Unsportsmanlike conduct. And Coach McKay is furious. It was a beautiful play call. There's probably not a person out there besides the coaches that weren't fooled by it. And they're calling it a legal touch, but like I said, we'll have to see the replay. If he was possibly out of bounds and therefore he's not able to be the first one to touch it. But regardless, it's Medway's ball on the Clocker 40-yard line. And they're ahead 14-13. Plunk it back with Alex Diamond, and he hands off to Diamond.
Diamond met by a group of Clockers.
Jackson Horning and Michael McSweeney right there to finish him off. A loss of a couple yards there.
Leading the Clockers tacklers, number 15, Jackson Hornick, and number 67, Michael McSweeney. Second and 12 for the Mustangs.
6:36 to go. And Ashland Clockers trailing by 1 after the first missed extra point of the season. And I can't blame that one on Andre Agostinelli. Certainly was not his fault. The Medway
Just
defender
a really
just
good.
evaded the block and just got in there too quick. So the clock is running, and it's Plunkett and Diamond to his right. And he fakes the handoff, keeps it, and he's got some good yardage there.
That'll be.
He's finally brought down, but not until he's got a first down. Dom Massaro with his.
Looks like they're going to call it just short. Nope. They will give him the first down by the nose of the ball.
Just over the 30-yard line. And this is timeout Medway. So 5:47 to go. First and 10. Medway Mustangs leading 14-13. Ashland Clockers looking to extend their season as the number 2 seed in the Division 6 South faces off against the number 3 seeded Medway Mustangs. And every game they played, well, there's only been 2 over the last 2 years, has been decided by 2 points or less. This one right now by a point. Plunkett, and it's
Oh, picked
deflected.
by Medway. The Medway, I believe that's their right tackle. Can't read the number, but
A
through the
big
crowd
hit.
of people, really, really good job by their right tackle, being aware of the situation and plucking that ball right out of the air.
Yeah. It was a 8-yard loss, and it was, couldn't tell if that would have been a fumble. 'Cause I don't think that was going forward, so it was a nice play by Medway to at least catch that and secure it and put it away, keep possession. But 2nd and 18 now. Let's see if the Clockers can hold them here. Nick Sheehan in the backfield to the right of Drew Plunkett. Takes the snap, and he hands it off to Sheehan. He's still going. And they're wrapping up the ball nicely. He picks up about 3 yards. He'll bring up 3rd
15.
15. And this is going to be interesting.
And I think
Because-
Ashland needs to be really cautious about Plunkett on the run during this play.
Yeah.
This is where Plunkett has burned them
That's an
throughout
excellent,
this game.
excellent call. Yeah, you know he's got to throw it, so don't let him beat you with the run.
Watch
He
him
drops
on the
back, and
outside.
he does throw, and hauled in nicely by Sam DePillo. A nice throw, but an even nicer catch right on his fingertips as he was sliding to the ground.
Really good read by Plunkett. I was looking over at number 11, Walter Nowicki, with the size difference on our near side. And now
So-
3.5 minutes remain.
So what's interesting, though, is if they do score and kick the extra point, they're only up by 8, which gives us the outside chance of a score and a 2-point conversion. So, but let's try and hold them and not come to that. That's a nice tackle there. As Drew Iannarelli holds on to Plunkett and doesn't let him go.
It looks like,
Gain of
They're
about
gonna-
a yard, maybe.
no, they're going to put it right back at the line of scrimmage, it looks like.
And a timeout by
Looking.
the Clockers.
Good timeout there. 3 minutes remaining on the clock. 2nd down and 10 now for Medway. Of course, the Medway Mustang up 14-13 over the Clockers. And with that, we break from the timeout.
Is Pepsi a sponsor of ours?
I don't think so.
So we won't mention Pepsi's name on the air. Okay, and it is 2nd and 10 on the 18-yard line.
Plunkett out of the shotgun.
Moving up is Alex Diamond. I would expect he rolls out. They get some pressure. And a nice catch there by number 28, Jeffrey Converse. Picks up about 3 or 4, but it keeps the clock running. It brings up a 3rd down. So 3rd down and about 7. Converse. 3 receivers over to the left. Alex Diamond again to Plunkett's right.
And this
He fakes the
Ashland
handoff.
sideline is kicking.
And that is
That's
picked
picked.
off. And he's going to bring it out. Jake Latessa with the interception. I question him bringing it out. He seemed to be making the right decision at first, but regardless, we'll take it.
We'll take what we can get right now, as there's just over 2 minutes remaining.
I caught the replay, and what happened was he intercepted it, and his momentum took him over the goal line, so he kind of already brought it out. So by the time he realized that he had to kind of go for it. But a clutch play by Jake Latessa as he came over from the safety position. That was the same play they ran for the first down, but they were ready for it this time. So here we go. Ashland Clockers with 2:08 to go, trailing 14-13. Dropping back to pass, throw underneath, incomplete, intended for Brandon Grover with his first target of the game.
And the Clockers' season may come down to these 2 minutes. Luckily, that play only took 4 seconds off the clock.
It's Jackson Horning going to be handling the snap.
He's done a great job so far this game. Do we have any stats on Horning for passing?
We have, we'll get those in a minute. Horning back to pass again, and he rolls, and he throws it over to Kevin Russell, I believe.
I believe you're right, but watch out. That was
7 yards, but the clock
is ticking.
How ironic. Ashland Clockers, and the clock is now their enemy. And it's thrown to Sickles, and that's complete for a first down.
So Clockers get a first down, but we're now down to about 1 minute and 34 as there's a timeout on the field. Clock has stopped at 1 minute 34. And Ashland acting calm so far under pressure. And again, game coming down to this drive. Can the Clockers come away with the W? And this will extend their chances at reaching the next round of the playoffs.
And it is absolutely electric at William Kunis Track and Field. Ashland High School, 1st and 10, 1 minute 34 to play. The Ashland Clockers trying to come back from a 14-0 deficit, trailing 14-13. Jackson Horning is tackled in the backfield, and that is devastating.
Is running. Ashland sprinting to get back to the line of scrimmage, trying to set up quick. Minute 20.
Loss of 6 on the sack.
Now a minute 15. And he finally stopped it at 1 minute and 10 seconds.
And he scrambles.
Jackson Horning scrambling, yep. Toss outside.
Field.
Catch.
I can't really see it. The sideline seems to think it's complete.
It's a catch.
And it is on a nice scramble and a catch for about 12 yards.
50 seconds left now. Clockers need to either spike this or get it out of bounds.
3rd and 3. They can't waste it down here. Keep it. Had a couple receivers trying to get out of bounds. But it's a first down, and there's a flag after the play. And that looks like unsportsmanlike, a personal foul. I don't know who it's again. Oh, somebody for the Clockers is pleading his case, and it might be Brody.
It's number 77 for the Clockers, Lucas Howard. And the Clockers are moving back
As after the first down, it should be a first down and just set them back.
Clockers trying to plead their case.
40 seconds.
Yeah. And at this point, we have to talk about the possibility of it coming down to the leg of Agostinelli if we can get into range. You have to remember the last time Agostinelli was there, they had a chance to tie the game.
I'm not really sure what happened. It still shows third down. I'm trying to figure this out.
Are they replaying the down, or was it a hold?
Are they calling it?
Foul?
They pick up the flag and it's a first down? Okay.
Not
Those
much of
folks
an
watching at
explanation.
home, all 61 of you, we don't know. We have an official in the booth, but he's just keeping the time. Anyways, he drops back to pass. He lets it fly. It's
Wide open down the sideline.
Nathan Sickles again.
25-yard line for the Clockers, out of bounds. 30 seconds remaining on the clock.
37-yard pass from Horning to Sickles. Again.
And Sickles was wide open. I cannot believe that.
They had two receivers, and he didn't know whether to take the deep guy or the under guy. Somebody messed up on the coverage.
It looks like the safety had to split between the two. You can't blame them. They needed a cornerback to come back with
29 and a half seconds. The clock is trailing 14-13. And as you said, Todd, it could come down to a field goal. And Jackson keeps it. He's got some nice yardage, and he's got a first down. That's going to move the
22
change.
seconds
It moves
and
the
a
chain,
timeout
and
taken.
It keeps the clock. It stops the clock.
22.3 seconds remaining. The Clockers looking to keep their playoff hopes alive.
It is now 1st and 10 on the 13-yard line on a beautiful quarterback keeper by Jackson Horning.
And some late game heroics here by the Clockers. And as we were talking about before, this could come down to the leg of Agostinelli.
He has so many options. If he does run the ball here, he's got to make sure the team knows that they got to get back, spike it, kill the clock. And if their intention is just to kick a field goal, then, and just make sure that everybody's on the same page. There's 22 seconds left. It is 1st and 10. Ashland Clockers, I do not believe they have any timeouts left at this point. Trailing 14-13 after a beautiful pass, 37 yards from Jackson Horning. Senior Jackson Horning to Nathan Sickles. The dynamic duo have been doing it all night. And he's looking to throw, and Horning over the middle. He's got him!
In the end zone!
He's got him! Nate Sickles again! What a play!
Ashland
What a
takes
comeback!
a 19-14 lead with 17 and a half seconds left on the
Can
clock.
you believe it? Nathan Sickles, Jackson Horning again. The dynamic duo.
And with that, what do the Clockers do? Do they go for it here, or do they go for two?
You have to go for two. It may seem incidental, but you have to go for two. We've seen crazier things happen. They could run it back and force them to
And
kick an extra point.
Plunkett seems to have an arm.
What an unbelievable game these two teams have put on. The price of admission was $10, and I think they could have charged $25, and it still would have been a value. As they go for two here, ahead 19-14. He fakes the handoff, he throws it, and it's just knocked away, intended for Brody Asenko. So it's 19-14 with
17 and a half seconds still remaining on the clock. And now we'll see if Medway can pull off some of their own late game heroics.
the Heart Attack kids have done it again. Jackson Horning to Nate Sickles. What a second half Sickles has had. And Jackson. But it all started with that nice stop on 4th and 3, and they hit the guy in the flat from Medway, and Nate Sickles came up and made a huge tackle to stop him for 2 yards, and they took over. And that's a key play back there because they were thinking of punting, and they ended up going for it. Had they punted, who knows how much more time would have come off the clock.
You just got to give Ashland some credit as to how they ran their 2-minute drive. That was a perfect way to run it. They made Medway come up and respect the short pass game. Then they went deep, and it worked out beautifully in the Clockers' favor as we get ready for the Agostinelli kick.
17 seconds, and we'll see what Agostinelli does here. Obviously, a nice squib kick. Oh, and it's through his hands, and that's all the way down there. He's got to take it out of the 1-yard line. The 1-yard line, Andre Agostinelli.
With 16.8 seconds left.
With an unbelievable kick, and I believe the up man touched it. I'm going to check on the replay here.
Yes, he definitely did.
And it forced the deep guy to pick it up. And it was going out of bounds either way, but either way,
if
he touched it.
If he had not grabbed that before it went into the end zone, that could have gone out of the back of the end zone, and that would have been a safety. And that would have been disastrous for Medway. Not to say that this is going to be tough now. And if you thought it couldn't get any harder, so they need a 99-yard drive in 17 seconds.
And I just don't understand why they're not back just a little deeper. They're going to go 99 yards. Why give them a chance to get behind you? It scares the heck out of me.
Ashland needs a man up 3 deep. That means playing man on everybody and then having 3 safeties deep to make sure that nothing gets behind you.
Rush two people. Who cares? Let them throw it. Let them throw it down the road.
That's throwing it deep. That's
out of bounds.
Out of bounds. Are they going to consider that a catch? They're going to say that's a catch.
So
catch at the 35-yard line. They're going to mark it out at the 32.
And Ryan Dwinell is rushing to get off the field. They don't need him in there at this point. They need some speed that can put some pressure on. That play took 10 seconds, 7 seconds left.
Now we see these Clocker safeties playing a little bit deeper.
This could be the last play of the game. Plunk it back, maybe a hook and lateral. He lets it go. And the Clockers back, and they pick it off. And that is the game as he takes a knee.
0 seconds
by
left
my
on the
man,
clock.
Jake Latessa, with his second interception of the game. And it's a victory for the Ashland Clockers on their home turf as they pull a thrilling finish to win 19-14. And the crowd is going crazy. And they will advance to the Division 6 South semifinals.
And a good point by a fan on Facebook. 19 straight unanswered points from the Clockers to win this game. Again, the final score, 19-14. What a crazy up and down kind of a game for the Clockers. A very shady first half. Clockers looked a little iffy there at the beginning, but they pulled it together in the second half. Great adjustment.
They went down 14-0. They got their offense together, got all the way down, 1st and goal, couldn't punch it in, got to the 1-yard line, 4th and 1, and that missed pass by College, and it just was so deflating. And then they got the ball back on a nice 3-and-out, and they couldn't punch it in. So they went to the half, like you said, down 14-0. They came out all fired up to receive the ball, couldn't do it again.
But finally, they figure out a way to score 19 unanswered points, and they come away with the W. We'll see who they face next week. I forget. Old Rochester or Dedham. If Dedham wins tonight against Old Rochester, that game will be here at William Cunis Field in Ashland.
And
or we will end up going to Old Rochester if they win.
And I just wanted to make one note, not about that, but first of all, we talk about the MVPs and everything. You know, you have the co-MVP. That's what I love about this team. It's never one player that really stands out. You had Nate Sickles with some huge plays in the receptions, but you had Jackson Horning, who was throwing a great ball all night, and you had Jake Latessa with that huge interception down there when they were, you know, when Medway was driving up 14-13, and then the pick at the end of the game, which was that was over anyway. Who would star of the game?
It's hard. It's really, I have to give it. It's between Sickles and Horning. Horning, I thought, was fantastic during that final drive. Really kept his cool. He was great under pressure. As a quarterback, there's nothing scarier than the 2-minute drive to end the game.
That play where he scrambled over there, and he was, you know, the play where he threw it away earlier in the game, like you said, where he could have taken a loss and then came back on fourth down. But
well,
here in the 2-minute drive.
Yeah, one of the most amazing plays was when he scrambled and managed to throw a ball that was caught along the sidelines for about 10 yards.
And we really don't know what happened there because it looked like there was a flag, and then it ended up being a first down, whatever. So maybe the penalty was against Medway. But I want to point something out. I don't know if P.J. Ferrier, a former Ashland Clocker player battling osteosarcoma, I don't know if he was watching tonight. But tomorrow there's a fundraiser for P.J. and osteosarcoma support and research, and that's at the Ashland Fishing Game Club tomorrow, November 3rd, 4 to 9 p.m. That's 21 Corderville Road in Ashland. There'll be some raffles, music, giveaways, that type of thing, but it'll be a nice turnout. So hopefully if you folks are listening and you have time tomorrow to come by and show your support, we're hoping that PJ's going to try and make it to the fundraiser tomorrow, and this is the second annual one that his family sponsors in his name to further research for osteosarcoma. So we'll leave it at that. And just a tremendous, tremendous night all around.
All right, and with that, we will, again, thank you all for watching. Final score here is Ashland 19 and Medway 14. Your Ashland Clockers advance and live another day in the playoffs. Again, thank you to our crew, Mackie and Jordan Kotob, Cameron Tabo, and Jack Emberley.
Great camera work, and thank you, Todd Carter. This was a lot of fun. We're 2 for 2.
I know, and maybe we'll keep the streak alive.
Let's hope we're hosting next week, because it'd be nice to play Dedham again. We beat them in a thriller in overtime last year down in Dedham. We'd like to do it again, not so close. And maybe we'll get to call the game if they go to Gillette. Is that in the contract or what?
Hopefully.
We'll see.
I would hope that they allow us down there.
This was a lot of fun. And congratulations to all the Ashland Clockers coaches, fans for cheering them on. And hopefully we'll be home next week on another playoff game. If not, we'll see them on Thanksgiving.
We will.
So regardless, Todd Carter and I'm Rob Silver saying good night and go Clockers.